All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Ship It Nation Week 11 Cash Game Show. Season's moving right along. We're here every Friday breaking down the cash game plays, getting that player pool developed, and then, as always, we'll have core plays on our site for FanDuel, DraftKings, specific to cash games. As always, joined by my guy Title. What's going on over there? Any initial Week 11 cash game thoughts?
It seems pretty straightforward, at least some spots, and more than last week. I think last week was pretty open, the week before as well. Again, it is just Friday in Week 11. Random injuries can pop up. As of now, it seems like a pretty clean injury slate. 11 games on tap, 4 in the afternoon. I always like 4 in the afternoon instead of 3. The tilting nature of watching three games on one screen. They just do not, YouTube TV or whatever it is, can't figure out the layout. The 4 screens is a lot better. 2 screens is brutal too. They can't figure out how to use the whole TV. So it's just that alone.
Last week, man, those afternoon games were awful.
Yeah,
that was just a terrible trio of afternoon games, so it made it even worse.
For sure. So yeah, 4 in the afternoon window though. No total above 50. A couple low ones for sure throughout, but yeah, excited to dive through it like always.
Yeah, not waiting on too much injury-wise. I mean, I just saw a notification pop up that Drake London is questionable. That would definitely change some things if he were to miss. I assume he plays. We'll see. Sounds like Dobbins is going to miss, so that's somewhat substantial, but relatively clean. Brock Purdy back. I think that's interesting. It actually could be somewhat of a conversation for cash. We'll see when we get there, and it is kind of where we'll start. So, I don't know. It's a pretty nothing crazy, I don't think. As it stands now, we'll see. And kind of went through and looked at our projections, our numbers, and I think they're pretty on point. So we should have a pretty good idea of where we're going, after this show. So we'll start on DraftKings. We'll start at the quarterback position. And when looking at the quarterback position, it kind of reminds me of last week where there's a couple guys you can spend on. If it were to work out at quarterback. Josh Allen's up there, Lamar Jackson, and you have Mahomes up there, 7K, 6'9", 6'8". But what a majority of people are going to do, most likely save money. I have the average of our projections in Sabres, so this will kind of balance things out. So the top value based on our numbers, Davis Mills. I probably am not playing Davis Mills in cash, but I suppose you potentially could. J.J. McCarthy at 5'2", Aaron Rodgers, Brissett. I talked about Purdy. He's 5,800. I think he's a fine option if you want to go there, but I think we're probably saving money here, and you have a few options. But give me your breakdown here, quarterback on DK.
Yeah, there's spends at other positions that I think you kind of want to prioritize. I like Josh Allen's fine at 7K. I don't think he's a necessity by any means. Right now, if the slate locked, I'm probably just playing J.J. McCarthy, getting out cheap at 5,200. He just has a great matchup against the Bears. The Bears is a team I want to pick on a good amount. They're at home, which you always like to see in the Dome. He's cheap. They're favorites. They're implied for 25 points, which is one of the higher implied totals on the slate. I just think the floor – I mean, just last week, he played so bad against the Eagles, and he scored 16 DraftKings points. Like, we don't want 16, but it doesn't absolutely kill you, and it can get you a lot. So that's my lean right now. If you had the money, I don't mind Purdy at 5'8", but I really don't see a difference between McCarthy and Purdy too much. Herbert at 6'3". If you do have like 1,100, I know that's a lot of money. Like, I do have Herbert projected better. Jacksonville, Herbert he's good. I mean, that should be a competitive game. Could also use his legs. Josh Allen up top at 7K still seems kind of too cheap. But, man, that 1,800 can go a long way when we get to some other positions. I think you just kind of get out a quarterback cheap. I'd much rather McCarthy over Davis Mills to find that 700. So yeah, I think it's probably McCarthy right now.
Kind of answers the question I was going to have, and it's like if you get the absolute world, everything you want, running back, wide receiver, tight end, you come back to quarterback and you got 47 or below. Like this seems like a week where you're probably fine just playing Davis Mills, right? You get everything you want.
Yeah, probably. I don't see why not. I would have to look at the 2v2s with a Mills, X, and McCarthy and Y or whatever, but probably I'd rather find it. It's uncomfortable, but I mean, yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah. He put up a big score last week. What was the
he did.
number? I mean, and I know they're playing from behind, so it always helps, but he put up 28.
He had the nuts group for sure in that one.
Yeah, and they got it close enough where they kept pushing it, and obviously ended up winning and played out perfect for him. But not going to bank on 28 points from Davis Mills. But I think based on what I'm seeing so far, like if I can get everything I want, and I don't have the money for McCarthy, I'd be fine. I wouldn't be changing too much around. Running back, again, let's just see what's at the top of the board. We got Christian McCaffrey, 9K, Bijan, little drop down to 83, and then Josh Jacobs, James Cook, Bucky is going to be out, even though he's practicing, so it sounds like he's pretty close to returning. And then, Kyron Williams, Rico, sort by value, see what's at the top. Got Woody Marks, Chase Brown. I think Chase Brown is definitely going to be a popular play without Pirine. I mean, Pirine was kind of digging into his workload quite a bit. The offense a little more competent now with Joe Flacco in there and Jalen Warren showing up as a play. Aaron Jones, I don't think I'd love that for cash. RJ Harvey without Dobbins, not the greatest matchup, but should get almost all the work. I mean, talk about these guys, I guess, up top, like Marks, Brown, Warren, and then any potential spends you're seeing here.
Yeah, I think the Jalen Warren, Chase Brown, Aaron Jones, I don't know. I guess Woody you can kind of throw in there, but he's more – I guess Aaron Jones is in a time split too. But I think I prefer Aaron Jones just a little bit. The matchup's really good at home, again, against the Bears. It's solid for Woody Marks as well. But I think Chase Brown, Warren are my preferred plays in that range. Like you mentioned, the no Pirine. Brown just been so much better with Flacco because the dump offs, bless you. He gets the ball out fast. He can catch 5-6 passes. He's running better. The offense is moving the ball. So Chase Brown at that price feels safe. Jalen Warren on the other side too. Like he's definitely overtaken Gainwell. His role is really good. Also can catch passes. So I do like both running backs in that game. Aaron Jones, though, is really cheap. Finally had a solid game last week. Also can catch passes. Woody Marks. I mean, he is definitely better than Nick Chubb. He's overtaken him to an extent. Nick Chubb still does get some carries here and there, but all four of them I'm fine with. But you very well might have money to spend. Like if you are playing JJ McCarthy and punting quarterback, I really have no lean. I wouldn't plug in any spend first. If I had 9K, I love McCaffrey. I always love McCaffrey. If I have 700 less, I'll play Bijan at 8.3. That seems like a good price. If I need 500 savings from that, I'll play Josh Jacobs as the touchdown favorite. It looks like he had some juice as well against Philly. So I'm good with any of them. Those three, they're not priorities. Rico, I almost maybe prefer over all of them. It's close, but when we're going point per dollar, 6,800 just a really good price. I'm going to keep playing the RB1 who's looked top 7 in the league this year. Matchup solid, nothing to get too excited about. They're only implied for about 20 points, road underdogs, but he can get there in so many ways. He's just a monster. So I like that price at 6.8. And then, you're going to like the Warren 6.1, Chase Brown 5.7, Aaron Jones 5.5, Woody 5.4. And I guess I'll throw ETN in there at 5.6. I don't really know why I wouldn't. I mean, he's been good for him. Pretty consistent.
Elite role. I mean, the role is phenomenal.
Yeah, 16 rushing attempts, 22. The last 2 games, 20 touches, 27, 4 targets, 5, 3, 5, 4. I mean, the role's great. So I got nothing bad to say about them or about him. Probably 3 running backs right now, just because there's just there's different guys in every single tier that I feel pretty good about. So I like the running back room. My guess is I probably start with at least one of Warren, Chase Brown though, and go from there. And Harvey, I'm good with Harvey. When we get to FanDuel, I think he's a little better at 5,800. Like Chase Brown 72, Warren 7K. So the price, he has a little more of a price discount. I'm fine with Harvey on DraftKings too, though. Good pass catcher.
So one question: if Drake London is officially questionable, it just popped up, and I think he plays, but if he doesn't play, would Bijan become more of a priority in cash this week? I'm assuming so.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's just more receptions to go around, and you just think they run the football more. The thing is, like, the Algier thing is just going to stay annoying forever.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's 2 red zone touch. So I don't know if he becomes a lock territory just because of his price and Jacobs, Rico cheaper, McCaffrey higher. But yeah, I would like him more without Drake. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. All right. Check out wide receiver. And yeah, again, the Drake London thing. I don't know. Like, it just kind of popped up. So not much more information. He could be very likely to play. I have no idea. But if he's out, what's Mooney? Just to get that covered. Mooney is 37. And man, he has done like nothing. Like, he was a best ball sleeper sort of guy that has just, man, nothing at all. All right, let's see at the top of the board what we have here. JSN, Puka, Jamar Chase. Like, no surprise there. So, if we're able to spend, do we, which one of these 3 is the spend? So kind of touch on that when I flip it over. And then let's look at value. Michael Wilson showing up at 3,800. No. Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Wilson is totally fine. They tried getting him the ball last week, and I don't think it worked. I just want to verify that because I did play a lot of Wilson, and yeah, 7 targets, 4 for 34. Likely to get a lot of target, probably, I don't know, 5 to 9 targets, somewhere in that range. 3,800. I'm very interested. Shakir, I think, is a solid option. Kincaid ruled out. And I mean, really the only 2 stable pieces for Josh Allen have been Kincaid and Shakir. Now Kincaid's out. I think Shakir's fine. We definitely hit the Parker Washington call last week. I know one of it was, I think, was a punt return or whatever, but he was wide receiver 1. I mean, if you watched any of that game, that's who Trevor Lawrence was throwing the ball to. So 5,100, I'm still fine playing him. DK Metcalf is cheap for 57. You got Zacchaeus, you got Jefferson. Then it kind of gets back into the spend. So talk about the 3 up top, and then any other cash viable options we have here.
Yeah, I'll say 4 up top. I'll throw Rashee Rice in that boat as well at 7.9K. I think you're probably playing at least one of the 4. I think my least favorite at cost is Puka. Do I feel great about it? No, but I have Jamar projected better for 200 less. And a lot of it's just the competition for targets. Like, Flacco is so dialed in on Chase, whereas with Puka, like, Hiron is still a threat. Devontae Adams is still there. I'm just trying to poke holes, like little ones. I mean, Puka's the freaking man. JSN, I have nothing wrong with him too. I just have right now Chase projected higher than JSN and Puka. So for the savings, the slate locked right now, I'd go with him. Now, if it's like really close and I have $400, I don't know. I mean, JSN's been wide receiver 1, so I don't have too much of a strong lean up here. Right now, it's Chase. I like Rashee Rice, though, a lot at 7.9K. Just an alpha in this offense. Great point per dollar guy. And then I think it's really just 1 or 2, if you have the money, of them up top. And then you're just dropping all the way down. You have pretty much a dead zone there. Then you're dropping down to Wandale 5.5, Shakir 5.3, Romeo Dobbs 5K. I want to say Parker Washington at 5.1, but I assume Brian Thomas will be back. The projection just goes down with Jacoby Myers and stuff there too. But yeah, I mean, he's like, in tournaments, you can keep firing him up. He definitely has a good connection with Trevor Lawrence. But now that it's healthy, I'm not sure there. Xavier Worthy 4.9. I don't know. I probably would rather just get up and find some money to Romeo, Shakir, or Wandale. The role's a little more shaky for sure with Rashee Rice back there, but it's fine. And then if we need some like savings, Michael Wilson looks really strong at 38 with no Marv. Darnell Mooney at 37, especially if Drake London misses, like you said. And then Greg Dortch at 3,300. So if you need value, I think you're just going to the Cardinals. Michael Wilson has a good role even when Marvin Harrison's in. Now Dortch is a big beneficiary without Marvin Harrison. So I think you're spending at least 1 up top, maybe 2. You have that 5K, low 5K, high 4K range with a couple viable options, and you have the Cardinals and maybe Mooney as your punt.
Yeah, could be a week where you kind of touch on every tier. You get one spend, you get one in the middle in that 5K ish, and then one punt where you go all the way down into the 3K range. I mean, that sort of build seems somewhat likely when you start kind of going through each position. Let's go to tight end, and at the top of the board we have McBride. I mean, he's going to be a phenomenal play, and honestly, maybe a priority this week without Marvin Harrison Jr. We saw last week, how involved McBride is and can be in this offense. 13 targets, 9 for 127, and a touchdown. Harrison's out. I'm inclined to say I just want to play him, but curious to see what you have to say. Sort by value to see if there's any cheapies. Kyle Pitts is showing up here as a solid play, and that's with Drake London in. So if Drake London's out, Pitts would become an even better option. Got Mark Andrews still cheap, Dalton Schultz, and did want to just see how much is Dawson. He's not even like a full punt. I would be maybe okay with a full punt on Knox, but 33 is just too close to these other guys. So McBride, and then talk about any of these viable cheapies. I guess Hawkinson's super cheap too. He's all the way down to 3K, which is kind of wild.
Jefferson can't even get the football from JJ. I don't want to play TJ Hawkinson. It's McBride. Unless London is ruled out, then I think you're debating between one or two of Pitts and McBride. I wouldn't hate double tight end, I don't think, if that's the case. But right now, if Drake London's in, you just McBride at 6,300 is a wide receiver one. That could be 7.3K. He got a touchdown call back last week too. The stat line could have been even bigger. So
they refuse at tight end to put the tight end ones. This is he's it should be 8K. Not really. When you really look at it, he should be like 8K, and you could maybe make the argument for even at least upper sevens. Upper sevens for sure, and 63 is just way too cheap. And special birthday shout out to our girl Joanne. Happy 66. Enjoy the weekend. Sounds like you got some nice weather down there in Florida. Better than what I'm actually. You know what? I shouldn't say that because it's actually nice this weekend. It's 60, I think, tomorrow here. So got some nice weather here 60. As well. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll definitely take it this time of year. But enjoy your birthday weekend, Joanne. Appreciate all your support.
Look what I'm working with right now.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that. I'm a warm weather person. I love the warm weather. And as soon as my kids are done with high school, my butt will be either where you're at or Arizona or Texas, one of those three spots. I will be.
Texas is good. Yeah. Yes. The dry.
Yes. Yeah.
Texas can be a little, but not as bad as Florida.
How long were you in Texas?
I was for a year.
Just 1 year? That's it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Really? For some reason, I thought you were there longer. 1 year.
1 year.
Yes, sir. Actually, so it would have been what when we went to that Cowboys game?
Yeah,
was that 3? Would that be 3 or 4 years ago?
I think it's 3 years ago. I want maybe 4. I don't know. Time's
4.
flying. 1, 2, 3, 3.5, maybe something like that.
Yeah. Well, it would have been this upcoming
around
weekend,
this time,
whatever.
Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. Yeah. So 3 or 4 years ago, one time. Defense. I'll just hit on it quick. Let's see. I'm just gonna sort by value. So. You can get out cheap with the Titans 23. I'm fine with that. At home, facing backup quarterback, I think that's fine. You got the Browns. I'd be fine with the Titans. Let's see if there's anything else. Probably not a week where we're forcing a spend. Maybe the Bears if you wanted to at 28, but I'd probably be fine with the Titans.
Yeah, it's probably who I'm playing right now. Again, I don't really prioritize defense. They're the cheapest on the slate at 2.3K, and they're facing a backup quarterback. If you just keep going up, Giants, Browns, Bengals, Cardinals, Buccaneers, Broncos, I think they're better than all these teams. So, and they're the stone punt. So unless I have 3.9K or whatever to work with and can pick anyone, I'll probably just get out as cheap as possible against a backup quarterback at home.
Yep. All right. Before we flip over to FanDuel, if you could, please do us that favor. Hit the like and subscribe on this video. Helps us out a ton. These videos are always free, and we intend on keeping them free. So we'd appreciate if you would hit the like and subscribe. to the video. Let's go see if there's any differences over here on FanDuel. A lot of times on FanDuel, it is easier to spend up at quarterback if you want to. 9K for Josh Allen, 86 for Lamar Jackson, and then pretty significant drop off sort by value. Got McCarthy at 68, Purdy 71, and then some of these other dudes for cheap. Probably pretty similar, I assume. I mean, if you're spending it's Josh Allen, maybe Lamar Jackson, and then if you're saving McCarthy, Purdy, I don't know, seems pretty close, similar to what we just talked about.
Yeah, I think it's probably McCarthy, Purdy. I think it's more of a discussion. It's 300 difference on FanDuel, 600 on DraftKings. I truly don't even know if I have 7,100, who do I like more in a vacuum? Maybe I diversify, but the thing when it's stuff like that is usually I lean into more of the diversification on close spots, or if I know ownership's going to be relatively close. Like DraftKings, if everyone's playing McCarthy, but I play Brock on FanDuel just so I'm not playing the same quarterback on DraftKings, but I'm on an island on FanDuel, you know what I mean? I'm eating the chalk on DK. It's not really doing what I want necessarily. When I think it's a 2v2 on both sites and the quarterback's in play, then it makes more sense because the ownership wise that way. So if McCarthy's just going to be the chalk on DK, then I kind of just want to play what I feel is best on FanDuel. And I truly don't know. Brock's getting Ricky back. The Cardinals aren't great. It's only 300. I truly don't know.
For me, it's not particularly close. I would definitely take Purdy. Yeah, for sure.
If there's ever a spot for McCarthy, though, Bears are so bad.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Yeah, definitely. And really, at the end of the day, it ends up being pretty close within a couple points one way or another. But I just feel so much better with Purdy. Pearsall's playing they're almost essentially. I guess they are full strength offense.
Yeah, they're good.
And they've been very cautious with him in terms of the injury. So he's got to be, I'd assume, very, very close to 100%, if not 100%. I would take him, but
yeah,
I get
probably one of those two. I doubt I can spend out.
Yeah. All right, we'll check out running back and sorting by salary. CMC is 10,000, Bijan 93, Jacobs, Cook. So kind of the same separation. It seems like almost between the two sites. It is 700, I believe, on DK, 700 here. The cheapies though have been much cheaper, and yeah, that's kind of the case. So we didn't love Woody Marks over there. I mean, I think he's in the conversation. But FanDuel is showing up even stronger at 63. RJ Harvey under 6,000. I always kind of look at that 6K barometer, and if you're right around that 6K mark or even below, I say it all the time, and then I'm going to say it again. It's one touchdown, and then you're good after that. And he's at that price where if he gets in the box, anything after that's a bonus. McCaffrey showing up here as a solid value. Bijan as well. Chase Brown is a little more expensive at 72 compared to FanDuel. We got ETN 68. Seems pretty wide open, I'd say. I don't know. I think it's maybe a little more clear on DK just because of the pass catching ability of Jalen Warren and Chase Brown over here on FanDuel, where you got those guys, but also have Harvey super cheap and Woody Marks is super cheap. I think it's probably tougher over here to decide what you do at running back.
Yeah, I think it's a really similar conversation of just up top, you have the groupings. Now, because McCaffrey's 700 more than Bijan and 900 more than Jacobs, I'm probably leaning more just Bijan Jacobs for the savings if I have it. If you have 10K, I have nothing bad to say about McCaffrey. If you don't have the money for the Jacobs and above, I think it's Rico again at 8-1 for 1K savings off of Jacobs. So similar talk as DK. Then you go down. The next range is Chase Brown, Jalen Warren, two good prices, just like we're talking on DK. Then you have Aaron Jones 6'4", Woody Marks 6'3", but the big difference is RJ Harvey, like we mentioned, at 5,800. I mean, 58 makes a lot work. No Dobbins right now is expected. I'm probably playing him. I mean, it's a tough matchup against KC though, and with Warren, Aaron Jones, Chase Brown, it's not a lock. But my guess is right now I'm probably playing 2 of 3 Chase Brown and below. So I get some value there. And then from there, I'd be fine playing a third that's cheap, since I mentioned like 4 or 5 guys. Or if I have one spend for McCaffrey, Bijan, Jacobs, Rico. So I kind of see it the same as DraftKings in the sense of you're probably playing at least 2 of the value-ish mid-tier guys, and then maybe one spend. And if I don't have a spend there, I'm fine with it because I can spend at receiver and tight end and stuff too.
Yeah, really good breakdown there. Let's go to wide receivers, see what we have. We'll sort by salary, same 3 guys up top, and all very similar in price. Actually, again, it's pretty similar to what we're seeing on DraftKings. JSN 97, Puka 95, Jamar Chase 94, and then Justin Jefferson. I guess the one thing for sure is Rashee Rice is quite a bit cheaper than these other guys, $1,200 cheaper than Chase, Puka, like 1,300, and then 1,500 cheaper than JSN. So I guess maybe this is a scenario where, depending on what you do at running back, you could get a spend, a big boy spend, and then play Rashee Rice as well, because there is some separation there. So Rice definitely stands out on FanDuel. Let's sort by value. Jamar Chase is at the top. Wandale under 6K is showing up here. Shakir at 61. Parker Washington, like we said, we should definitely note that it's dependent on Brian Thomas Jr., and he was limited, so we should get some more information today. Drake London, questionable. Let's check out Mooney, 56 for Mooney, so it would be another cheap option. Tet McMillan, I don't think his price has moved once all year on FanDuel. He is 6,200. So we have options here. We have a lot of options, but Rice definitely stands out to me at 82. Like, I think you can find a way to maybe play him and a spend and then one cheapie potentially, depending on what you do at running back and core. I mean, if you're playing one of the cheap quarterbacks, if you're playing 2 of the cheap running backs, I haven't really built a team, but it seems like it's at least possible. Let me just look ahead real quick. McBride. So they did get McBride up there a little bit. But, yeah, talk about these wide receivers on FanDuel.
Yeah, I'll just hit on tight end really quick because I think it's probably McBride or Pitts. And then what you do, 77.
Pitts is 5K. That's cheap, man. That is that is very cheap.
Especially if London's out. Then I think you're probably just playing Kyle Pitts. But if he's in, I think you have more of a decision, and what you're doing at tight end is going to translate to what you're doing at running back and receiver. If you're playing McBride and that 2,700, you obviously don't have as many options to spend. If you're playing Pitts, you have a lot more. So, yeah, like you can play 2 of JSN, Puka, Chase, Rashee Rice on FanDuel if you're playing Kyle Pitts, if you're playing at least 2 of the value running backs and maybe 3. And I think that's a very viable route. If you are spending at running back or tight end in that, at most you have 1 of Rice, Chase, Puka, JSN. And I think I rank them the same, but I'm going to go Chase 1, Rice 2, JSN 3, Puka 4 because of that price difference on FanDuel. But it's all close, and they're all really elite plays. And I think it's very similar to DraftKings. And after that, you're just completely going down to like a low 6K range. I think that mid 6K to high 7K range is just stone dead in cash on both sites almost. You can embrace it in tournaments when we get there. But otherwise, I think you're just going to Romeo Dobbs at 6'3", going to Wandale at 5'8", Mooney at 5'6" if he is, or if there's no Drake London. Michael Wilson is 5.5K. What's Greg Dortch? 5'2". I don't think that's cheap enough. I think I'd just rather get to Michael Wilson. He fits the scoring a lot better. Shakir, like you mentioned, Tet McMillan, I'm good with his price as well. I want to keep clicking Juwan on both sides. The price stands out, but without Ricky Pierce, or with Ricky coming back, and Kittle, obviously, like he's been heavily involved. It's also now Brock Purdy, which him and Mac are very similar, but still maybe a little more unknowns. He hasn't played for a bit. I'm not really sure about that, but yeah, I think it's a very similar conversation, and what you do at running back 3 and tight end is going to determine a lot. If you can spend up for the Chase, Rice, JSNs of the world, or if you need to be in the Wandales, the Romeo Dobbs, the Tet McMillans, the Michael Wilsons, which I'm fine as well. I mean, Wandale's wide receiver 1 right now. Michael Wilson will be wide receiver 2 behind Trey McBride. Like, at least on FanDuel, they don't like Tet McMillan, another wide receiver 1, Dobbs wide receiver 1. Like, you can always find guys that are beyond the field that are main targets for cheap, and we have that here. So yeah, that's the decision on both sites, I think, really comes down to running back 3, kind of, and then more so on FanDuel than DraftKings, the tight end position, with it being a onesie position and a big gap. You got mute.
Yeah, great breakdown for sure. I mean, we already kind of touched on tight end, but McBride is. If I had to rank like the pass catchers this weekend, right? Like he's top 5 for me. Like not even factoring in just raw fantasy points. Like who's scoring the most fantasy points? Like he's in that top 5, top 7 for sure. Like he's right there. So like the $7,700 price tag to me doesn't mean anything. Like I know it's probably the most expensive tight end this season on FanDuel, but outside of JSN, Puka, Chase, Rashee Rice, maybe we throw in Jefferson, maybe we throw in Devontae. Like after those guys, he's right in there, 5 through 8 or something. So I'm fine paying that price tag. But again, the decision gets a little more difficult if London is ruled out. The Pitts at 5K with London in is looking solid. With London out, this is coming up probably, I don't know what, maybe 2.5 points or something.
It's probably Pitts is my guess. I think it's a big enough gap, and you're able to get like 2 spend receivers or 1 spend running back or something. I think the gap might be like the ownership is or the salary is just too wide for I think what it gets you on your team is 3, my guess.
2,700. I just added 2.5 fantasy points. He goes to the top of the list, sorted by value. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, we might be overreacting. I mean, the news just kind of came out. There hasn't been much more information on it. So I mean, the NFL, I will say, the injury reporting has been phenomenal. Like, I don't know, 8-10 years ago when I was grinding this stuff, I mean, you had to work your ass off to find out if a guy was going to be in or out before inactives. Now by Saturday night, like you have like 95% of the news, and it's been like that basically every single week. So
you would hate college football now.
Well, college football is probably exactly. So
I played a main slate wide receiver. I guess he got hurt in warmups last week on Ohio State. I guess he got hurt in warmups.
Not reported.
No reports. So just 60% in cash just gets a 0, 32%. It's wild. I mean, it's a wild game out in the college football street. Shout out to our team. They grind. It's hard.
Yeah, that's the toughest. I mean, if you're touting doing research, writing articles for college football DFS, I mean, that's the toughest one to be in. Toughest sport for sure. Defense over here. So you got a home favorite at 3,300. Bills favored by 6, 3,900. The Titans we talked about on DK, probably wouldn't play them here. I'd go with one of the favored teams, I think. Vikings. So you have a lot of home favorites that are under 4K. Probably just going there, I think. Yeah, I'd probably just play one of those 3. I don't know. Seems pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah, and seeing a home favorite at 33 looks pretty good. So I think that's probably my lean. Yeah. If I didn't have the $300 or not even 300, 200, and I needed the Titans, I don't know. I guess it really depends on the 2v2 or whatever. It's defense. I'm fine with it, I guess. But I mean, last week I got a little cute. I played, Buccaneers over the popular Jags, and just takes 1 freaking punt return, and there we go.
Mr. Washington.
I know. So yeah, I mean, defense is so tilting. I'm waiting for super flex one of these days.
That'd be nice, man. That would be nice. Defense is just such a. I mean, was it 3 weeks ago? Titans 10-point underdogs scored the 2 touchdowns, a 20 piece. Like, how can you project that? Like, you just can't. Like, it's just such a high variance spot, but. Who knows? Maybe one day. All right. I think pretty good breakdown here today. Got everyone kind of on the right path. Like I said, we'll have our core plays for FanDuel, DraftKings on the site. Head on over to Ship It Nation to get those. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
No, it seems pretty similar on both sides. I think we narrowed down the player pool a good amount. I think the running back position is one of the hardest. And tight end on FanDuel looks really difficult. And like kind of what you do there leads into the wide receiver room and where you have for pricing. But I think we're spending down at quarterback, at least with the slate locked right now on both sides. We found cheap defenses on both sides. So that means you got to spend your money somewhere, and yeah, you have options. So I'm ready for it. Drake London news is most definitely big though, and
Yeah,
you never know, random stuff can pop up.
Yep. Monitor that news. Our Discord, we'll have it covered as soon as the news breaks. We'll have that information out to our members. So get on over to shipitnation.com, get in our Discord. Appreciate all the support on the show. Good luck to everyone. We'll be back next week for the Week 12 cash game breakdown.